Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs of Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs like Danny Watson.
How you doing, sir?
You would read us ice and this ices, and this is just an incredible. I'm going to tell you why. I love what you have here so much. But tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, a little bit about me. 36 years old, entrepreneur. Been entrepreneur since I can remember. Little kid with my own lawnmower company, and started from there. After that, went in the military, and
what fueled that fire? I mean, you're an entrepreneur since.
I liked money, and I liked mentorship.
Yeah.
And I liked being my own boss. I don't like working for anybody. I know it's a crazy thing to say.
You went to the military.
I did.
And I am sure that there are some incredible entrepreneurial lessons that you probably transported from the military to your business life.
The big one is leadership, and the other big thing entrepreneur-wise through the military is you're giving a whole lot of things like personnel, equipment, everything that's tons of money. I was 20 years old and was worth or signed for $10 million worth of equipment. How do you, and you're responsible.
Yeah, you're
totally responsible. So.
And accountable.
Oh yeah, you signed the dotted line. And you signed the dotted line for that equipment. So.
You come back from the military. Did you work for corporate America, which I doubt?
I did. A little bit. I did.
What did you do?
I did. I actually did about 10 years in the military, got out, and went into the defense contract world.
All right.
So there was my corporate time. Did a few years overseas contract work, defense, Afghanistan, Iraq, a couple other places, and that was my corporate time. So I got to experience a little bit of it. Did
you find any gold ingots out there that they were buried and you brought it back, and that's how you brought the franchise? You can just share.
I don't know. I mean, I still have ties over there somewhere. So that's about all I can say on that note.
You come back and you buy this franchise, Rita's franchise.
A franchise. I bought an area, yes.
And you bought an area. Mm-hmm. And why this? Why not
I grew up
something
with
else?
it. I grew up with the stuff, so I always had a thing for it. I figured it would do well out here in this, nice dry heat, except for today with the humidity.
With the humidity, right? But otherwise, we love the 105, 100.
Yeah, I love the heat. I love the heat.
What a perfect spot to do this.
It really is. And I did it for me initially. I initially started out, just wanted one. 2 years ago when I moved to Scottsdale, I said, why is there no Rita's in Scottsdale? Contact me on the Rita's homepage, and next thing you know, they're calling me, asking me, please buy one, that area's open. I said, well, what can I do to buy out the good areas of Scottsdale where it's going to be successful?
Right.
3 stores, so that's what we're doing here. And
the good area meaning the more affluent areas.
Well, not really that. Just I like stuff near like the interstate.
Okay.
Easy accessible areas where there's a ton of people around. That's what I was going for.
As an entrepreneur, your biggest challenge. I mean, it doesn't matter if you buy a franchise or you're starting a business from scratch. It's still very challenging. I mean, you still have to run a business.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what a lot of us don't understand about. All right, I'm buying a franchise. I got it made. Not really.
You don't. I mean, these guys. It's a great brand. It's award-winning, but the problem is that you don't get a whole lot of support. I can't wait for them to watch this. You don't get a whole lot of support.
Well, and that's the truth.
And that's some franchise offer a ton, some don't, and it just happens. So as an entrepreneur, businessman, you make it happen. You know stuff can happen like that, and you just do it.
When you say you make it happen, are we talking about the marketing itself?
Everything. Yep.
Everything.
Everything.
You're
everything from HR to financing to payroll to everything. They give you about 3 minutes worth of training on one of those.
but then you got to figure it out.
Absolutely.
You got to figure it out.
Growing pains.
Right.
That's why this first location has been great. I've been mentoring 12 other people, and they're basically all mini managers now, and it's great. I can trust any one of them to do anything at any time, make a call in the place, and I can just go like this if I have to.
Is it your goal to make them managers or to make them leaders?
Leaders. I'm all about leadership. I really am. I mean, anybody can just jump and thrown in there and manage something, but if
Follow
you actually,
orders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can go, okay, we need to do this, take the initiative, let's get it done the right way, first time.
We brought in a professional tester from Mr. Scott. He's been testing
there he is.
throughout the day. He's been testing. So we're just going to open this up. Mr. Scott, Thank you.
I'm so happy to be
Again,
here.
This is Danny.
This
and
looks
we're
really
just-
good.
It's a little bit melted right now from the drive
but
down,
That's
but
that's all right. And
it's still gonna be
Mr.
just as
Scott
good.
is gonna taste.
That is delicious.
What flavor?
Oh my God.
What
That's
flavor?
like peach.
mango.
Mango.
Yeah.
Mango. That is absolutely delicious. I didn't catch the name of the company.
Rita's Italian Ice.
Rita's Italian Ice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a new customer of Rita's Italian Ice. Thank you.
There you go.
We'll
And
take
you
care
got
of you.
mine? Not the
Oh.
whole thing, Mr. Scott, but since it's gonna melt a little bit,
Okay.
we're just gonna have you
I'll take another spoon so I don't.
take
Yeah, just throw it in the
Double dip
freezer.
here.
It'll be fine here in about 5
Thank you,
minutes.
Mr. Scott. Thank you for playing along. You're
Rita's Italian Ice, the place to go when you want yummy food.
this is what happens when we have a professional doing the job. He's a speaker. He's a professional guy. Anyway, this is
love
about this is about you. And I remember, and the tale that I was going to tell you is that me growing up, I grew up in South America. We had that, but in a very crude and raw form. I mean, there was this huge block of ice, I remember, and it was all dusty, and they had a sawdust on it and stuff. And there'd be this guy with this thing that they would just kind of shave, this ice shaver they would do,
Yep.
and then he would put it in this dirty glass and just tap it in, and the ice would fall in there. And then he had like all these bottles, these dirty bottles of
Yep.
different flavors. God knows what was in there, but you would get, oh yeah, I want the tamarind, or I want this other flavor, I want this, and then he would just put it like that, and then he would put some kind of condensed milk on the top. And that was the icy that I grew up with, man.
And you loved every second of it, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I mean,
never got sick.
Yeah, no. I've had stuff like that overseas before.
Right?
And it just blew my mind. I said, absolutely, I want some of that.
So-
on this local street. I was like, right there, I'll take it.
Is that shaved ice?
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh,
it's so popular
amazing.
in our countries, but here we have it has been put under a corporate label, and it's nice and it's
Everything.
pretty and it's safe, and and that's what you got. It's just cheap.
It's funny. We're working on a project right now for our third location to buy the property up in Central Scottsdale, Shea area. And it's funny, not to mess up my competition, but I love like the shaved ice snowballs so much as
Right.
well. For my property, I'm putting a Rita's in there with a drive-through and 8 other units in that building we're building. However, I'm putting an old school snowball shack in there as well. Why not? It all goes to one pot, but we have it all right there. We're gonna try it. If it fails, it fails. Lesson learned. If not, we're double dipping.
I tell you,
You
why.
know?
I tell you why it's not going to fail, because you probably have me as a daily customer, and I'll just make up about 50% of your sales. So, tell me a little bit more about. We're talking about the challenges as an entrepreneur, even though you have the franchise and the areas and everything else. Your expansion plans. Do you want to go outside the Scottsdale area, or do you want to have a mastery of that area, make some mistakes in there, and then move on to somewhere else?
We've already made tons of mistakes so far, as we all know, with this location here. And I've actually had my real estate lady come out from San Diego from the franchise, one of the people I go to in the franchise when I need real support.
Right.
And she's always there. And we looked in Happy Valley, Cave Creek, Anthem, Mesa, Central Phoenix, looking at other areas possibly to expand it, and maybe go from there. We'll see. We'll see. After the next few open, we'll see where we go.
Expansion is really a very tricky thing. I mean, yeah, you can throw all metrics, all kinds of numbers and everything else, but it boils down to a gut feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at a couple areas and it just kicked me. It was like right here, right here. So much as I even called up Barrow's Pizza, those great guys, and they love Rita's. And I was like, hey, why don't we come up with a deal? Maybe we can JV, joint venture.
Yeah.
And I looked at a lot of their stores in certain areas out here. It's like, you know what? They're killing it. Why don't I put a Rita's next to every one of their stores? So that's another plan I'm looking at.
And that is interesting, because that idea of, I hate to call it kind of a strategic tailgate partnership without really being a formal partnership. Hey, somebody's already picked up these spaces and they've been very successful.
Yeah.
Why not have my own store kind of just follow that?
Exactly. And I look at it like this. Everything's exploited. It's not like you're coming in here and going, oh, you're the first pizza joint or you're the first sub shop. It's been around forever.
Right.
I mean, other than
somebody's already done the homework.
Exactly.
Why break your head going, oh my goodness, you know.
It's not the automobile or, you know, sliced bread where you're the innovator of this stuff. You know, it's business. It's exploited. You know, everybody jumps in when they can get in, and hopefully you're successful.
And that is genius. And I think that idea of strategic partnerships, I am always amazed, why is it not being more exploited, Danny? Because, you know, if you have, for instance, the relationship that we have with Taylor from Financial, you know, we both profit from each other's talents.
Yeah.
And when I say profit, it's not just economically, but talent-wise.
Complement each other.
Why go out and invent something that somebody already has the talent for?
The wheel's spinning already. You know, it's not going to stop. It's not a square wheel anymore. It's going to keep rolling forever. You know, so no, I mean, it's there. One of the issues I have found, and I'm sure you guys have seen, is greed and ego.
Yeah,
it is huge, especially out in Arizona. I don't know what it is. Greed and ego is a big thing, and I pride myself on not having any of that.
How do you deal with that?
Oh, you know, it's interesting. I deal with it in different ways depending on how they come after me. I deal with it in different ways. I make sure I'm 100% right. I have to talk to my advisors. I have advisors in every kind of business category.
Sure.
Retired, you know, extremely successful, sold their businesses. I talk to all those guys, bounce the ideas off them. Talk to my attorney, who is a friend of mine, and you know, a small business partner in something else, and you know, go from there. And we hit it the correct way.
It is interesting. When there is no money, there's always everybody's friends. But the moment you start making it, the moment that you see the bank account kind of growing a little bit, that's when the egos start showing up, don't they?
Big time. And that's why I'm leery about, you know, doing any partnership with me not having at least 51% control. And it's not my ego. I'm just kind of scared. I've been burned. I'm kind of scared. So.
And I think it's partly, and I will finish with this, because it's partly of your background in the military. Now, you are used to following orders, but you're also used to giving orders.
Absolutely.
And I can almost guarantee, just talking to you right now, that you were a lot more comfortable with the $10 million equipment and everything else, giving the orders, in making sure that you, as a leader, you had all these men and women that just kind of follow your gut instinct and you follow your leadership.
Absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much what it is now. Everybody that works for me, they laugh because every once in a while I'll act like I'm in the military again, and I'll kick one of my doors open or something, and a lot of them get a little nervous, and they're like, and then the other ones kind of like turn and like kind of laugh because they're like, oh, yeah, that's okay, it's just Danny, you know.
Danny, really, it is my pleasure. I'm really humbled that you came over, and finally, you know, we were able to meet you. We had a professional taster over there that, you know, took away the fun and the icy from us, but that's all right. We'll catch up to him. Don't worry about it. Talking about egos and stuff, we'll catch up to him. But anyway, with that, you're going to come back.
All right.
We're out.